Hey, shalom, shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right. Real quick video, just something that hit me in the spirit. You know, I don't have an official title for it. I think it's going to be You Asians, Moabites, Ammonites will be punished as well. The Lord did not forget you. Okay. And, we talk a lot about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right. The devil. All right. And we call him out a lot because Esau is the primary enemy. He's as Israelites, he's our arch nemesis. OK. So, we're supposed to call him out and call him and pretty much expose the wickedness and the treachery that he's doing behind the scenes. Right. But you can't forget these other nations, OK, that have, assisted Esau's tyranny over us, man. All right. And it's a good handful of nations that have came together and made sure that that our people stay in a low condition. Right. One of those nations are these Moabites, okay, and these Ammonites. All right. These what the world will call Asians. Okay. The Lord is going to punish them. All right. They're going into slavery. Okay. Now, you do have Asians that may look like an Asian, but they're really an Israelite. You know what I mean? Like Bruce Lee. Who else could I say? You got that guy, China Mac. Look him up, man. That dude, China Mac, is literally, he's a Negro in an Asian man's body. Look him up on YouTube if you don't know. Look up China Mac. That's a Negro in an Asian man's body, right? I'm talking about the real Moabites, okay? The real Asians, all right? That are heathen, okay? That, have a disdain for our people, all right? And, coming up as an Israelite, okay, especially in America, these are things that you take notice to as you come up in America. You know that deep down, these Orientals, these Asians, they don't like us. OK, and a lot of them will make it known. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them give you evil looks. A lot of them will cut you out of a deal. They'll try to two-time you. Right. You got that shit where they in, our people's neighborhood selling our people that wicked orange chicken. You know what I'm saying? That Chinese food. That shit is in all Israelite projects. That Chinese food. You know what I'm saying? And that shit ain't nothing but abomination. Right? So these Asians participated in our downfall, man. You better believe they did. Okay? It reminds me of that movie, Get Out, right? When you watch that movie, okay, go back and watch that movie. But there was a scene where the main character, all right, he's seen one of his homeboys from back in the day that was he was already brainwashed by Esau, right? And basically, it was that scene, but he was like in a party, right? And the party was Esau basically scoping him out. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. He was in that party and all them Edomites were trying to like fill him out because they was trying to buy him. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to buy him as a slave. He didn't know. right? And it was a bunch of Edomites that were trying to, uh, pretty much discuss his market price with him, right? And I'll never forget in that movie that it was in all them Edomites, but out of all them Edomites, it was like one Asian guy. You know what I'm saying? He was like the oddball. And he was there for the same mission. He was trying to do some devious shit with Jake. So, hey, these Asians are guilty, man. Okay? Yeah, the white man he's the number one enemy. Okay? He's our sworn enemy, but Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has a bone to pick with these slanted eye motherfuckers as well, man. They're not going to get off the hook. They're going into slavery. Okay? We're going to touch down out there in China and Japan, and we're going to round their ass up too, man. All right? Because they did a lot of shit, all right? A lot of shit that's not spoken of to keep our people on a low condition, man. Okay? And if you ever ran into any of these real Moabites, these real Ammonites, they don't like us, man. They don't like us. All right? And I know that for a fact because when I was in the world, I used to, I dated a Japanese woman. I dated a Japanese woman for 3 years straight, right? That was my woman. And she was a heathen, okay? Because even now when I think back to it, I was like, yeah, she wasn't Jake. But you know what? She was good to me. She loved me, and at the time I loved her. So, hey, that's proof that an Israelite man, can procreate and can lock in to a certain extent with a heathen woman. But she was a heathen, though. And I met her mother, but I never met her father, right? And the thing is I never was able to meet her father because she never told her father. I think she did, but basically her father didn't want to meet me at all because he didn't like Jake. Right? So I never got to meet her father because it was a well-known thing that he did not like Jake. Right? And if he met me, it was going to be a problem. You see? So these Asians, they do not like our people, man. Okay? They don't like us. All right? The real heathen ones, man. Okay? Because I met a lot of what it seems like to be on the surface of Asian, right? But, he's a Jake for real. You know what I'm saying? I met a lot of them, right? Now, hang on. Let me do something for my job real quick, Akim. Let me go on my lunch break. All right, Salakia. Just put this in, okay? But, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I met a lot of... Yeah, they don't like. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I met a lot of so-called Asians, but they was Jake. All right, they cool. They just like any of us. But them real heathen one, oh no, they don't like us. You know what I mean? They be trying to get us out the store quick. You know how it is. They give us them little dirty looks. They try to stay away from us. You see? So the Lord is gonna punish their ass too, man. They not going to get off the hook. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has a bone to pick with all the heathen, man. Okay? That's why it says for the controversy of Zion. Let me get that scripture, man. Okay? Okay? The Lord is going to judge all of these nations, all right? Because these nations, they all had a part in our downfall. And especially these fucking Kung Pao chicken slanted eye bastards, man. Okay? Isaiah 34:8, it says, for it is the day of the Lord's vengeance and the year of recompenses, right? For the controversy of Zion, okay? For what happened to us, all right? It wasn't just the so-called white man, all right? The so-called white man, in fact, was selling us as slaves to other nations. So, our slavery was a very big marketplace, man. This is why you got Jake all over the world, man. Okay? That was a part of the scattering, right? When it talks about Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, And it says the Lord said as a curse, he going to scatter us amongst all the other nations. Well, a big way that happened in this time period is we were being sold as slaves. So a lot of these fucking Asians, okay, they were right there at the auctioning buying us, right? You know what I'm saying? Participating in our downfall, man. Okay? It tells you that in the scriptures that, you know, when these heathen, when they witnessed our fall, right? You know, they were right there to forward that affliction. Okay? They were there to kick us while we were down. All right? And these Asians, okay, just because now they popping up and they trying to act like, you know, they got some good moral sense, right? Because right now the hottest topic for all of these other nations is to go against the devil, go against Esau. And that's prophecy that these nations are going to start to hate the whore. So now you got these Asians trying to act like China and North Korea. They all trying to act like they got some sense and they're standing on a good moral code. But it's like, nah, you goddamn niggas, you help participate, okay, in our downfall, and you help participate in fucking the world up, man. All right? You know, if the kingdom was to get translated to these Asians, okay, they wouldn't implement the righteousness of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in the earth. Okay? They'd put the world in a brutal slavery, man. Look how these goddamn Chinese, look how they do their own people in the land of China. They're already in martial law out there, man. They're already got a surveillance system, right? To where people are being calculated by a social credit score. So these Asians they have ill will intentions for our people, and they definitely don't like Jake. They don't even hide it, man. At least Esau, play it off because he's the devil. Esau come in your face and, he'll put on a big ass, smile and act like he's your best friend, right? You know, but these Asians, all right, they don't even hide their hatred for us, man, because they don't like us at all, man, and that's because, right, they're one of our opposing nations, man. They're one of our enemies. Okay, let me get that. Let me get this in Psalms 83. So the Lord is going to come back and destroy their kingdom, all that shit they got in China, all that shit they got in Japan, and all that shit, because they got a lot of pride in that shit, that Chinese New Year, and you know what I'm saying. And you know what? A lot of their history, right? These Asians got so much pride, and a lot of their history with these goddamn slanted-eyed niggas. A lot of that shit go back to our people, the samurai, the ninja, okay? You know, the first person to invent Kung Fu was a so-called black man. So a lot of their culture, they got it from us, man. But, you know, these goddamn niggas, you know, them orange chicken niggas, you know, they like to play it off as if they're the geniuses. They're the smart ones, right? They're the most technologically advanced, okay? And they ain't nothing but some goddamn heathen. Look at their diet. You know what I'm saying? Look how weak and frail them goddamn Chinese people is, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have a good time putting them niggas in them chains, man. Okay? We gonna have a good time with they ass, man. All right? Because they're our enemies, man. Psalms 83 in verse 2. It says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult," right? Meaning that when you break that word down, tumult, it ultimately means to declare war, right? So our enemies have declared war against us, and they're still warring with us right now, okay? These Asians, like I said, they're in all of our projects with that goddamn demonic Chinese food, man, all right? And it's already come out that they out there, they cooking rat and dog and serving it to our people. Because, you know, when I used to eat that shit in the world, I always used to think like, you know, this don't taste like no real chicken. This is, you know, this shit is, you know, because chicken is, when you eat chicken, you know, it's chewy, but it's like it's a little bit of like a rough texture to it too. You know, it's a little weighty, if you know what I'm talking about. That Chinese food, that they be serving our people, that shit be all flimsy and wet and fucking and you know, shit melt in your mouth and shit. It's like, yo, this ain't no real chicken. So when they came out, you know, with the you know, with that news that, you know, them goddamn heathens is cooking rat and all sorts of other abominable animals and selling it at these Chinese places, right? You know, it makes a lot of sense. You see? Because they're our enemies. All right? They've been trying to keep us down. They've been trying to keep us in sin, right? Our people, in the confusion that our people are in, is big money to these heathen, man. Okay? You got the Chinese woman selling our women hair, right? You know? It's big money to keep the Israelites asleep, man. All right? And these goddamn Asians participated in all of that, man. Okay? So that's how they declared war on us. All right? By participating in our downfall. It says, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. And you know what? I'm very much convinced, you know, I haven't found any tangible evidence, right, of what I'm about to say, but I'm very much convinced when Esau, you know, put our people in slavery, right? I'm very much convinced that, you know, this devil, he sat down with these goddamn Chinese and Japanese motherfuckers, and they all sat down and strategized and came to an agreement to make sure that we stay asleep, to make sure to keep feeding us abomination. I'm pretty sure that they came to that agreement, man. Because remember, like I said, that movie Get Out, right? It was that Asian nigga there. So that Asian nigga in that movie, he was trying to be on the same shit as them Edomites. And they all were in agreement, right? So that's what it means that they've taken crafty counsel against us. Okay? These goddamn Moabites and Ammonites, these motherfuckers have taken crafty counsel against us, man. All right? They've participated in hiding our history from us as well, man. Okay? It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And I'll say this as well. You know, a lot of them goddamn Chinese, Japanese motherfuckers, they really think that they above our people too, man. You know what I mean? When you look at them, they you know, they don't even regard the Israelites as anything but a goddamn a coin. They you know, they don't want no association with us. They really think that they're above us, man. Right? Because all of that false bullshit history that they prop themselves up with, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. All right? That's okay. Because, you know, the Lord is getting ready to glorify us in front of the whole world, okay? And we going to come back down as gods in front of them, man. All right? And they going to have to get their ass in line. All right? Just like the rest of the heathen, man. Okay? You know? Verse 5, it says, they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, the so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, right? Because remember, the Arabs participated in the transatlantic slave trade, all right? They were major buyers and distributors of the transatlantic slave trade, right along with the devil. See, they've all of these nations, all right, when they seen us fall as a people, all of them got together and said, okay, you know, I believe they probably all had a meeting, man. You know, I don't have no tangible evidence on that. And Lord willing, maybe I'll find it one day. But I believe they all had a legit meeting, right? A conscious meeting like, look, we got the Israelites in captivity. How are we going to make sure that they stay asleep? How are we going to keep them away from their God, right? They had to, right? Because everything that has been established, right, that they've established has been to literally keep us away from knowing who we are, right? So they had to have a meeting. they had to at some point come to the understanding and the agreement that the Israelites are in slavery. We finally got them. Now what? What do we do now? And they all start coming up with little secret, little demonic plans, right, to keep us in a lower state. All right. So the Arabs were there. Here's the point. It says of Moab. Look at that. And that's the Chinese. Okay. That's these bastards right here. Okay. So these motherfuckers are our enemy, man. Okay. These motherfuckers are our enemy, man. No doubt about it, man. Okay. Let's keep going. It says, where's it at? In the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon. That's the Japanese, right? So the Chinese and the Japanese, okay, they all been working together, okay, to keep us away from our power, from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right. That's why it says it right there. They crafty counsel. They have all consulted together under one consent, meaning that they all came together and said, okay, we got the Israelites in slavery, right? You know what I mean? How are we going to keep these niggas? How are we going to keep these niggas down? I know. We'll set up a 7-Eleven. Keep these niggas buying tobacco. Keep these niggas smoking weed. That's the only time a fucking Asian is somewhat cool with you when you come inside of his store and you buy something. Other than that, they don't regard us as anything, man. Right? You know, don't let you be employed by one of them motherfuckers, man. Them motherfuckers won't even talk to you. They'll let you do the job, but if, you know what I mean, them motherfuckers, I know, because I worked at a car wash under a goddamn Moabite. That motherfucker, that nigga wanted nothing to do with me. And, you know, he treated all the Jakes like that. He had a couple Jakes that were like house Negroes for his business, but he treated all the Jakes, you know, that worked there like 3/5 of human being. Like, nigga, just get to work. Fuck you. You know what I mean? He didn't tell us anything about his personal life. He didn't want to get to know us. Nothing. Right? That's because these goddamn Asians, these Moabites and Ammonites, they don't look at us as anything more than a goddamn coin. Right? These Chinese, Japanese fathers, Asian fathers, they tell their daughters to stay away from us. Right? Legit. They tell their daughters, stay away from Negroes. Stay away from Mexicans. They're no good. Don't trust them. Don't trust a Native American. Right? Then they tell their sons, you're better than them. Go to school, get a better job than them so you can stun on them. You know what I mean? You're better than them. Don't ever have no friends like them. Stick to your own race. Fuck them. Right? This is why you goddamn Asians, you going into slavery too, man. All right? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai did not forget your ass either, man. All right? I know we don't really touch on y'all too much, but okay, this is why the Spirit got Spirit put got on me to bring you Asians into remembrance that you have not gotten away. Okay? You have not gotten away. All right? This is Psalm 60:8. It says, Moab is my washpot. Over Edom will I cast my shoe. Philistia triumphant thou because of me. Now I want to touch on that first part. Who is Moab? Moab are the Chinese, which you would call the Chinese today. Moab is my washpot. A washpot meaning that, is basically a slave, right? Somebody that tends to the chores. That's what you Chinese, that's what you're going to be doing in the kingdom. You're going to be tending to our chores. Okay? The Chinese woman, you love to do the Israelite woman's nails. Well, you're going to be doing nothing but that in the kingdom. Okay? You Chinese, you're going to be slaves, man. All that shit you built and all of them goddamn, you goddamn Chinese motherfuckers, you think you great at math and you just think you the smartest goddamn heathens on the planet. We going to bring you motherfuckers down to a low level, man. All right? And you're going to know that you're a heathen, all right? And you're under us. Because like I said, these goddamn Asians, they walk around like they better than Jake. They don't even speak to us. You know what I mean? They don't want no association with us unless we buying something. And that's okay. Because you motherfuckers is getting ready to get a wake-up call, man. All right? You ain't finna be the next superpower. You goddamn, you fucking Ming motherfuckers, man. All right? Motherfuckers be in China. You be a whole bunch of them running around like ants. Goddamn heathen, man. You is not finna be the next power, man, on the earth. It's gonna be us, the Israelites. Okay? And we gonna come holla at you demons. You goddamn Ling, Ming, Mongol motherfuckers. We gonna come holla at you niggas, okay, for all that bullshit you put our people through, man. You might have not been as evil as Esau, but you was right there, okay? You was right there helping the devil, man. All right? Let me get this last one right here. This is Zephaniah 2, starting at verse 8. It says, I have heard the reproach of Moab and the revilings of the children of Ammon. Let's get that word revilings, okay? Revilings. Well, let's get it in the blue letter, actually. That's better. Zephaniah 2 and 8, blue letter, right? Let's get that word reviling, because they revile against us, man, which is, I believe, is like to talk shit, right? To put a stain on our image. You know what I'm saying? This is what these Asians do. All right? Like I said, I know firsthand that the Asian father does not want his daughter associating with Jake in any capacity, man. All right? And you could tell by how the children treat Jake. The children try to, stay away from us. You know what I mean? They be acting like Jake is just a werewolf or something like that, man. They stay in their circles. They don't want nothing to do with Jake, man. All right. That's because secretly these goddamn Asians in their household, they be reviling against us. They be talking shit. All right. And they think we don't know that. Okay. They think that the Lord don't know that, man. You see? So they gonna get they punishment as well. It says reviling, revilings, reviling words, vilification, reproach, reviling, right? You know what I'm saying? So these Asians, they put a lot of dirt on our name, right? They put a lot of dirt on our name, and they're part of the reason why Jake is looked at as a criminal and an animal only. Now, hey, 2/3 of our people are criminals and animals, and they need to be put down like rabid dogs. But these Asians, they kind of forward that image. You know what I mean? You go around them, they start holding on. The Asian bitch start holding on to her purse. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, these motherfuckers ain't no goddamn heathen that eat squid right out the ocean, man. You know what I mean? So let's go back to it. It says, of the children of Ammon, whereby they have reproached my people and magnified themselves against their border. Yeah, because they're proud. You Asians are proud, man. A lot of these Asians come from whatever country they come from. They come to America. Esau hook them up with a big ass loan, right? And then they get out here, open up a business. They riding around in Teslas, and they be sticking their nose up at Jake like, oh, you just a goddamn monkey. You'll never be this. You know what I mean? We're the most smartest. Look at us. We're the professors. We're this. We're the science. You motherfucking goddamn Asians ain't shit, man. Okay? The heathen of you, right? Not the speckled bird ones, but the heathens. You heathen Asians ain't shit, man. All right? Weak as hell, frail, fragile, right? Can't even lift a goddamn rock off the ground. That's how goddamn weak you goddamn Asians are, man, in real life, man. Okay? And you done a lot of reproaching of our people, man. So the Lord is not going to forget you. Okay? Verse 9, it says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah, meaning that the Lord is going to burn everything you goddamn Asians have built up. The Lord is going to burn that shit to the fucking ground, man. All right? Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to burn that shit to the ground, man. All right? All that pride that y'all got in them paintings and all that culture, the Lord going to burn it all down, man. Because a lot of that shit is a lie anyway, man. Okay? And you're going to have to bow the head to the same people that you look down upon this whole time. Okay. It says, even the breeding of nettles in salt pits in a perpetual desolation, right? The residue of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them. Yeah, we're going to put you in slavery, man. Okay? We're going to put you Asians in slavery, man. And you need it too, man. Because look what them Asians be doing, man. They diet is just out of this world, you know? Motherfuckers just grab anything out the ocean, eat it. You know what I mean? You know, them motherfuckers don't have no sense, man. Look how they drive. They need slavery, man. They need to be told what to do, okay? But they don't think that we gonna do that to them, man, because they've been looking down upon our people for so long. They've been having all that permission from the devil to you know, all that pseudoscience that Esau placed upon us. You know, they really believe that we ain't nothing but but some criminals and basketball dribbling niggas, man. Okay, right along with Esau. So, hey, they gonna get their punishment as well. All right, all heathen is gonna get their punishment, man. All right, for what they did to our people, man. All right, and you Asians are not off the hook, man. Okay, you're not off the hook. So go ahead, you know, China, North Korea, go ahead and get yourself involved in this World War III. Go ahead, man. All right, you know, because the Lord is gonna come back and show you niggas as well, man. And then after the Lord show your ass, all right, because the Lord, he gonna come back as a so-called black man, all right. And you know them goddamn Asians, they, you know, that's gonna blow their goddamn mind. You know what I'm saying? Because they believe, because you know their religion is some whole other shit, some dragons, some fucking wushu warriors, Buddha fat nigga, fat laughing ass nigga. So for them to see a so-called black man coming back to the earth with all power and glory, you know that's going to bug they ass all the way out, man. Right? And after the Lord come back and destroy, all right, your military might, we going to come, hey, the elect is going to come back down off them ships, all right? And we going to put Esau's ass in chains, and we going to put you fucking Asians in chains, man. We going to put you Moabites and you Ammonites in chains, man. Okay? So, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson, and I'll give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shim Yahushai. Once again, Shalom, Shalom.